Good evening and happy Erev Shavuot. According to a Jewish tradition reaching back over 1,000 years, the Torah, specifically the 5 books of Moses, are to be read over each and every year in completion, from the first Parsha of Bereshit until V'zot HaBracha, which is read on Simchat Torah. This is not such an easy feat to accomplish. Problem is that the number of Parshiyot don't always fit neatly into the number of Shabbatot in a year. The Jewish calendar, you see, can have anywhere between 353 weeks to 383 weeks. So fitting them into the varying numbers of Shabbatot changes from year to year. Nevertheless, there are 4 exceptions. That is to say, Parshiyot, which must occur and be observed at specific times. And Parshat Bamidbar is one of them. Bamidbar always falls out on the Shabbat before Shavuot. Spoiler alert, I should point out that that's just as in most rules. There are exceptions, and there are always exceptions to the exceptions. It really can happen that Naso is the Shabbat before Shavuot, but that's not our concern. We'll save that for another time. So what is the connection, therefore, between Parshat Bamidbar and Shavuot? So I came across a beautiful medrash which might help us put the connection into focus. The book of Bamidbar deals seemingly with the mundane details of the divisions of the 12 tribes into camps, and each encampment having its own flag. Where did flags come from? Why flags? There's no mention of any requirement for flags before. This is most unusual. Did God command Moses at one point? Moses never did anything without God's permission. That God wanted flags for the peoples? How did they just suddenly make an appearance in the text? So there is a medrash, the Medrash Rabbah, chapter 2, that tells us as follows. B'shah shenigla Kadosh Baruch Hu al Har Sinai, when God appeared to the people of Israel on Mount Sinai, Yardu imo chaf beis rivavot shel malachim, there descended with him 220,000 ministering angels. V'hayu kulam asuyim digalim, and the angels were sporting their own flags. Shenamar dagul mervava. Kevan sharo otan Yisrael, shehem asuyim digalim digalim. When the Israelites saw the beautiful flags and their divisions, hitchilu mitavim lidgalim, they began to desire similar flags for themselves. Amru, halavai, kach anu naasim digalim kamotam. They said, halavai, would it be if only we could have flags just like them? Amalem HaKadosh Baruch Hu, ma nitavitem la'asot digalim, chayechem, shani memalei mishalotechem. God therefore said, just as you, people of Israel, have desired these flags, I swear that I shall fulfill your request and grant you flags. So let's try to understand this medrash. What is it about these angelic flags which was so compelling that the people needed to have them for themselves as well? Was it just a childish desire for pageantry? So the Sfas Emes, the Ger Rebbe, explains that the people desired to be like the angels in one critical aspect. You see, angels know precisely why and for what purpose they were created by their Creator. They had but one shlichut, or mission, for each angel, and they fulfill that mission promptly as the need arises. What is their mission? It is inscribed on their flag. And it was this which was so compelling to the Jewish people. You see, most people have no clue why God put them on this earth. They wake up in the morning, they go about their business, they go to sleep at night. Why? They are clueless. Many people not only know where they are going, they don't even know the proper address. However, for the Jewish people, it's a little different. We know at least generally what we are meant to do. We must study Torah. We must fulfill the mitzvot, participate in minyan, public prayer. But is that really sufficient? What is precisely our individual mission? Mission or purpose does not only refer to career or profession. After all, selling real estate or securities or clothing are only a means to an end. The end, the goal, that purpose, that is the degel. The Sfas Emes, furthermore, distinguishes between the two expressions in the previously mentioned verse. Ish al machanehu v'ish al diglo. A man according to his camp and his flag. Machane, or camp, refers to that which most of us understand intuitively. We know where our camp is. We know our address. We generally understand where we belong. The camp of Israel. But finding our degel, that's another matter. Not everybody is worthy of it. And the person who knows his degel, Ashrei Oto Ben Adam, happy is that man. So how does one find and discover his degel, his true purpose in life? Well, there's really only one solution. It is found in the words of the famous Rabbi Hananya ben Akasha, which we recite every time that we learn something in public. Ratza HaKadosh Baruch Hu lezakot et Yisrael. Why did God give us so many mitzvot? In order to grant us the merit of discovering our true potential and our true purpose. Every person is blessed with his own unique set of talents and endowed with their own unique flair for genius. How do you apply your genius? Well, there are so many options out there. If you're not sure what your niche is, you must experiment. You have over 613 possibilities, and then some. Opportunities abound. Some find their purpose in charitable work, volunteering to help the less fortunate. Some excelling in personal Torah study, or perhaps teaching others Torah. To daily study the parsha of the week, or to learn a Mishnah a day, or perhaps a sample of Kitzur Shulchan Aruch or Daf Yomi. Others still dedicate their lives to the land of Israel, fundraising. Some the sanctity of Shabbat and encouraging their colleagues to observe the Shabbat as well. There are also free loan societies, Tomchei Shabbat, raising money for food for the poor. The point of all this is to discover your niche and then to stick with it with consistency. On Shavuot, we each year anew realize what our machana is, our camp, where we belong. But the Sidra of the Galim, which precedes the holiday of Shavuot, teaches us that it is not enough to generally identify with Torah. We must, each of us, discover our own specific purpose. What is your banner in the desert of life? Happy is the man who can answer this clearly. His existence is meaningful and worthy. I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom and a happy Chag Shavuot Sameach.